Peter Obi on alert. Tribunal order for a rerun. Tinubu makes new plan with Niger crisis. Hello people, welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. It is glaring obvious that as a matter of fact that Tinubu knows that he is going home, that Aso Rock is not meant for him. A lot of people don't even know that the crisis in Niger and why Tinubu is so much interested in, being involved in a crisis that has absolutely nothing to do with him is because he is seeking for validation. He's absolutely seeking for validation because all the evidences and everything that P2B and Atiku Abubakar submitted in the election petition tribunal, I must tell you that even the blind and deaf cannot, withstand not disqualifying Tinubu, meaning Tinubu must be disqualified as a matter of fact. And apart from his disqualification, there are evidences and there are a whole lot of evidences that Tinubu, as a matter of fact, that there will be a rerun, that Inec must order for a rerun because they did not comply to their rules and regulations, to the guidelines they provided for the election, which affected a whole lot of results. In this particular channel, we've been discussing about that. But today, I'm going to tell you how Tinubu, as a matter of fact, is making new plans of actually, using the war and probably the ongoing crisis in Niger to postpone the election if there are cases of a rerun. Because that is what Tinubu is trying to do. Because what he is trying to do is to see that if the tribunal, as a matter of fact, orders for a rerun and probably maybe he's disqualified and all that, look at what he plans to do. As a matter of fact, he wants to postpone. He wants to postpone the election, and there is a particular part of the constitution that Tinubu is holding strong onto. And in this particular video, I'm going to show you that part of the constitution that Tinubu wants to, hold strong onto, because that particular part of the constitution stipulates that maybe during cases of war, look at what the president should do, the sitting president at that particular time should do, especially if there are cases of rerun or election and all that. Well, before we dive into this particular matter, this is your first time of coming to this particular channel. Don't hesitate, as a matter of fact, to click on the notification button so I get notified whenever I drop a new and important video like this, and equally subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't hesitate, as a matter of fact, to share this video because it is very important. If you're obedient, do well to share this video to your friends, to your families, and to your relatives. Now let's head straight to the point. I'm telling you that Tinubu is making a plan B because he has seen that, as a matter of fact, that they are going to order for a rerun. What he doesn't know if he will be disqualified or not, but he is certain that there is definitely going to be a rerun. And he has started making plans. When he started appointing ministers from the Northwest, which I told you yesterday, that Tinubu is basically focusing on the Northwest and the Southwest, where he knows that he can get bulk of the votes in cases of rerun. I told you guys already. Apart from that, a lot of people are wondering, why is it that Tinubu, the other day, yesterday, he wrote to the Senate, to tell Senate of his intentions to invade Niger Republic because of the ongoing coup in Niger. Even when the people of Niger are happy and celebrating the military leadership and coup, Tinubu, thinks that it is right and just for him to, as a matter of fact, to invade the country and do whatever he wants. Nobody is supporting military coup in Africa. We are saying that democracy, as a matter of fact, has been bastardized. Democracy has actually been uttered within this particular country. Well, that is a topic for another day. Now, I told you guys that there is a particular part of the constitution that Tinubu is trying to make use of in order to, as a matter of fact, change this particular the decision or whatever the decision of the election petition tribunal will be. Now, let me tell you something. This particular part of the constitution, as a matter of fact, stated something categorically. Look at what the Constitution of Nigeria said. Section 135(3) of the Constitution of Nigeria states that if the federation is at war in which the territory of Nigeria is physically involved and the president considers that it is not practicable to hold elections, the National Assembly may by resolutions extend the period of 4 years mentioned in subsection 2 of this section from time to time, but no extension shall exceed a period of 6 months at one time. Now, let me explain what this section of the Constitution is saying, that if there is an forthcoming election within the country and Nigeria or its territory and its probably its boundaries and everything are at war, that as a matter of fact, that the president, the sitting president at that particular point in time, has the right to postpone the election by 4 years. First of all, he has to write to the Senate to postpone this particular election by 4 years, and the Senate has to approve whatever the request of the president to postpone the election for 4 years. Now, this is Tinubu's plan. And that is why I must tell you that indirectly or directly, that is why he wants this chaos that is happening in Niger. Even when Niger is peaceful, as we are talking to you, he wants to create chaos by bringing military to invade that particular country, which is out of place because he wants the situation whereby there will be an ongoing war and probably chaos between Nigeria and Niger, so that he can, activate this particular clause in the constitution whereby the sitting president can write to the Senate because he practically owns the Senate when his servant being Udomi, being Akpabio, because Akpabio is the sitting governor, is the sitting president of the Senate, and majority of the Senate is from his so-called bad party or evil party, being APC. So definitely, whatever bill he's sending to the Senate, they will approve it. So this is where Tinubu, as a matter of fact, is trying to hold strong hands onto. That is why a lot of people have warned. The northern elders have told him, don't invade Niger, don't invade these people. There are diplomatic ways of punishing or probably sanctioning these people, which is what US and other nations have been doing to Russia and other places. They sanction them and they do other things, but you cannot see them invade the country despite having all the ammunition and artillery and everything they need. But they never do such. Rather, they will only sanction them. And this is what Nigeria is supposed to do. This fight has nothing to do with you. You can cut off your ties with this particular country, this particular country, and this is the only thing you have to do. Focus on your own internal crisis. But Tinubu, like I said, has an ulterior motive. When you see somebody that is power drunk, he is so desperate to seek for validation and a way to retain that particular presidency. That is why he is doing this. That is why he is actually trying to invade this to cause more chaos, so that he will activate this particular clause of the constitution where he can tell the Senate to actually postpone the election by 4 years. That is, if at the end of the day, by September 16th, as we all know, the Election Petition Tribunal will give its final judgment. So if they actually order for a rerun, Tinubu, as a matter of fact, if the conflict between Niger and Nigeria, gets out of hand, Tinubu can now write to the Senate, as a matter of fact, to shift the rerun election by 4 years. You could imagine what it means. 4 years is like having or achieving one particular tenure, and this is what he is planning. Apart from appointing ministers and other people from the northwest and from the north, this thing and all that, he is actually planning to use this Niger. That is why people are telling him, even the northern groups are telling him, don't do this. This is our neighboring nation because it will create an everlasting war and conflict between the two countries. Tinubu is insisting because he knows that he's just trying to bring in more options for him to still retain that particular position. Well, he should know one thing, that his removal is imminent. There is not going to be any conflict. No matter how he tries to invade that particular nation, I don't think it is wise because there are a lot of people are opposing the use of military action in Niger, which is right. You don't use military action in a place where the citizens, 90% of the citizens are backing the new leadership. So there will be casualties, civilian casualties, if he try to invade such country. So this is what people is planning to do, but he should know that beforehand we will be exposed him and his plans have failed woefully. Well, I'd like you guys to drop your comment in the comment section and tell me what you think about this new plan of Bola Tinubu using the Niger crisis to retain power.